Hey everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, where we look at some of the latest and greatest releases in the genres of metal, heavy metal, hard rock, classic rock, progressive rock, jazz fusion. You know, we try to do as much as we can here on this channel, cover a wide variety of genres. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new release from British, American, German, prog rock, space rock, psych rock, hard rock legends, Nektar, The Other Side. So some of you might be saying, and I was saying that too not long ago, but Nektar, but didn't their founding member, singer, guitar player, songwriter Roy Albrighton die like a couple years ago? He absolutely did. Very sad day. Roy passed away in 2016, and myself, as well as probably many people, felt that, you know what, with no Roy, kind of, can there be a Nektar anymore? I mean, these guys have a long history. They started back out in the very early 70s. Okay, well, they formed in the late 60s, started releasing album in the 70s, a lot of classic albums. Okay, Remember the Future, a lot of really, especially the early 70s, continued throughout the 70s. Okay, Roy left briefly. Late 70s, rejoined a year later, put out another album. Then we had a long drought, nothing much from the band through most of the 80s and the 90s, and they got back together. All right, some of the classic members released a couple new albums, pretty solid, did a bunch of live shows and touring and things like that, festivals. And then, like I said, Roy passed away a few years ago, and we thought maybe that would be it. But you know what? You still got a couple of the founding members of the band who are still around, decided to kind of keep the flame alive. Some of us might have been skeptical. I certainly was. But I got to tell you, this brand new album, The Other Side, is really good. So you might be asking, well, Pete, who the hell is in the band now at this point? All right. So, well, I'm going to tell you. So we've got, time for the glasses to come out. I want to make sure I get everybody's name correctly. All right. From the original band, okay, we've got Derek Moore. Okay, so he's been around forever. On bass, vocals, lyrics, a little bit of keyboards. We've got Ron Howden on drums and vocals. Those two guys, original founding members of the band, along with Roy Albrighton. All right. Also, from the original band, but not an actual musician in the band, we've got Mick Brockett, who always took care of their kind of the visuals, the lights and the special effects and, all that kind of stuff, as well as helping out with the songwriting. He's still on board here. New to the band, we've got Kendall Scott on keyboards and synthesizers. Fantastic player. We've got Randy Dembo on additional bass and bass pedals and 12-string guitar. That's right, 2 bass players in the band now. Go figure. And then returning, because he was in the band briefly, for a very brief period of time, back in the late 70s, I think 78. Didn't actually record with the band, but was working with the band, and they had, were writing some material and whatnot, but then he wound up leaving. Roy came back. Is a guy named Reich Chlanda. I think that's how he spells his name, or it says his name. Reich Chlanda, something like that. On guitars, lead vocals, and also helping out with the lyrics. He also is a founding member of 70s New Jersey prog band Fire Ballet. Okay, some of you might remember them. I think they released one album back in the late 70s, a very, very good one, which I have. I don't think they ever did anything else. So he is back in the band, okay, playing guitar, lead guitar, and vocals. All right, so let's take a look at this album here. So first of all, we got that kind of classic Nektar-looking artwork. All right. Okay, there's the guys in the band on stage. There's the back. Very cool. You've got, the booklet filled with lyrics, photographs of the band, all this good stuff, right? I was pretty blown away by actually how good this is. All right. Like I said, I'm always willing to give these older bands the benefit of the doubt, give them a chance, because there's been so many kind of legacy bands who have kind of reunited or, what have you, later in their career and have really knocked it out the park with some fresh, new, original music. This is no exception, and I really thought I would miss Roy quite a bit, and you do, but the spirit of all he brought to the band is still here. It sounds like a Nektar album, and that's the important thing. So what do we got? We got I'm on Fire kicks it off, a very old school proggy Nektar sounding track. It's got the great keyboards and the Hammond organ and the biting guitar, right, the melodic vocals, the kind of the mix of like, kind of prog and space rock and hard rock. They kind of do that really well, always have. Then that's followed up by Skywriter, which apparently is kind of like an updated version of a song which I think was called Sky Pilot that some of these guys were working on together back in '78. Okay, so here they've kind of updated the title and the lyrics. A gorgeous song. Kind of like classic Nektar meets the Beatles. I mean, the chorus is just absolutely addicting. It's just a really good mix of kind of pop and prog. I love it. The instrumentation is there. The keyboards are wonderful. It's got a great guitar solo. Just a killer song. Unforgettable song. It's one of those songs you listen to once or twice and you just can't get it out of your head. All right, then we got the epic track Love Is / The Other Side. All right. Lengthy, all sorts of different shapes and sizes and moods and changes and all that kind of stuff. Lots of soloing from the guys in the band. Classic prog. All right, for you Yes fans, there's even some kind of cool little Yes noodling going on in the song. I really dig that a lot. What else we got? We got the darker, a little more menacing, maybe slightly heavier Drifting. Okay, then Devil's Door, which is actually a song that the original band were playing live for a little bit back in like the early mid-'70s. In fact, if you can find some live versions of these, you can go on YouTube, you can see some clips. I think one of their old live albums that they've released in recent years, live from the archives, has a version of Devil's Door on it. Okay, never recorded on an album. And what they did for this version is they kept Roy's original guitar opening, okay, which is basically a bunch of cool arpeggios and chords and things like that lead into the song. They actually took one of those original live recordings, or maybe it was done in the studio, I'm not really sure, and put it on this version with the rest of the band finishing out the tune. Very cool song. You got The Light Beyond, Look Through Me, and Why Can't I Be More Like You? A very cool closing tune that, again, kind of pushes all those kind of proggy buttons and the things that we loved about Nektar so much. So just some really engaging songs. I love the instrumentation. The vocals work for me. Roy's vocals were kind of special, right? But I think the vocals on here are fine. To me, it just feels like a Nektar album. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, but I have a hard time accepting the band without him. But, you got 2 original members. If you count Brockett, you got 3. I know he just doesn't contribute anything musically. And then you got, an old school prog guy from the '70s, okay? And then you got 2 other new guys. I don't know. I like it. The more I listen to it, the more I really enjoy it. It's solid. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star on rating on our website, www.seatranquility.org. So go there to check out more information about the album and all the songs individually and all that kind of stuff. But I dig it. If you like old school prog from the '70s, classic prog, and if you've listened to anything by this band over the years, I highly recommend checking it out. All right. So this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. What do we got coming up? We've got ranking the studio albums from Yes. You don't want to miss that. So I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.